Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland, and for today's adventure I've come to the Dun area of Angus here, and I'm kind of just at the edge of the lands of the massive Angus mansion house, the House of Dun. So basically with this adventure today folks, I'm wanting to go into the grounds here of the House of Dun and document an old abandoned chapel and graveyard which lies within this land. I have been here one time years ago on a video, and it's amazing how much things can often change with the weather and the years passing. And I thought today I'll come back for a fresh adventure and then document any history that's available to be seen. Look at this bridge here that we start at. And there's a proper path network around here at Dun. It's an amazing place for an adventure. Check out this folks, it's got this wee path. Look at the bridge. It's got reinforcements through it. It's a true paradise scene with the noise of the wee stream running through here. And this incredible bridge. Anyway, I'm just going to head on. I'll update you once I get nearer this ancient historical wonder, which is a chapel. Hardly seen and hardly documented. I believe this House of Dun is a National Trust for Scotland property, so it's amazing it's still kept like the day it was when it was in its prime back in the day. And that's amazing compared to some of the big houses I visit on this channel. A lot of them are fully demolished or in a sorry state of abandonment. But basically this garden that I'm exploring today as well was the original house garden, so it was really well kept. Because a lot of these old Scottish estates, they had rare plants and rare flowers, and this one still features all those items. Look at that folks, the beautiful white flowers here on these look like rhododendrons, but they look like a rare type. It's amazing to see. And then I've noticed there's some other colours as well, not just the white, there's some purple ones and some other interesting rare looking plants. Even this here, look, bamboo. Absolute madness folks, it's like going to another planet. Look at this folks, there's a bridge through paradise here. Over the top of this jungle like canopy, the river flows and the rare plants grows. And down at this side we've got a crazy waterfall. It's honestly like a paradise scene with a little bridge and stuff over the top, and I'm just following this path round, and I think I need to try and get up to the right here. There should be a little gate. Look at the character of that, the steps leading up there, almost like a secret forgotten garden. And there's all these little paths even leading away down areas like this. Another amazing thing in a landscape like this, I can smell the blossom and the flowers in the air. Look at this right at the path side. So check it out folks, this mound in the ground here is actually a historical artefact related to the House of Dun. This is actually the old ice house here, where in the winter months they used to take the frozen water out of the burns, put it into here, and that would be used, taken to the house for the storage of food. They had basically a supply of ice to keep their food fresh. And just check it out, wow, I didn't actually plan on coming in the ice house today, so I didn't actually bring a decent torch. I might have to come back here in the future. I've got the phone torch here though folks. Whoa, you get a slight essence of it. It's a big deep square. Probably if you fell in there you wouldn't get back out. And then look, there's a hole up there which at one time I think they could fill the ice house from up there. And then there would have been a little door on here. There's the remains of it folks. Real history of Scotland once again on the channel this week. It's just been cool. I love wee nuggets like this, and look at the way the ivy's kind of draped over the top. Mad scenes of abandoned history once again. I should maybe lay this in front of it just so that no animals get stuck, because I'm sure that's what this was here for. What character is given to an old stone building like this by the amount of nature that comes around. Like the way that all these beasts, I can see them flying around. There's birds and then these little flies and stuff, and that's what the birds are feeding on. But then even the way that the moss and the ivy takes over in a place like this, it's just crazy. And just to think that chamber's down within that stone area. Another thing that I'm just thinking as I look at it, it's amazing how that's the way we went in, and we looked in, it was a small square, but it's strange how this whole section here is actually built onto it. Again, it's a strange kind of external wall. It was maybe where they would park their cart if they had like a horse and cart. And this in front of me, folks, look, it's been a daffodil meadow. It looks like they're pretty much past. There is a few of them still out. But it looks like last weekend or a couple of weeks ago this would have been a show of colour. I love the way the trees are covered in the ivy as well. It gives such character to the land. And over at this side I can now see the House of Dun through the trees. So I've now come through that wee gate there behind the ice house, and this is the old House of Dun walled garden, which you can see is massive, and the wall around it is so tall. And that was so these big houses could actually grow rare fruit and vegetables and stuff all year round. Sometimes these walls were heated from the warm air out of the greenhouse. Other times hot water was actually piped through the walls, and they could grow incredible, even sometimes exotic fruits and things like that. But the walled garden at one time would have been a key hub, feeding the big house, feeding the House of Dun and all the staff, the family in there probably. Here we are, folks, look at this, the grand grave site right here. And look at the way that these railings and stuff is painted, and look at the castings. Think how old these gates are. Look how grand they've been made. And this is the Erskine family graves in here according to this sign. Wow, it's just incredible. Look, we can see the old abandoned chapel over here at this side. I think the National Trust obviously cares for this area. It's part of the same as the House of Dun. This would be the old chapel for the family here of the estate, similar to what we saw recently on the Ald Bar Adventures. They had their own unique like family chapel near the big house, and it was a similar thing on a lot of these Scottish estates. Sometimes they also had the finest of gravestones, like this one here. Check it out, folks, the carving and the detail in it. Wow. And then depending on what type of stone it's made of, it's actually the last super long. Look at this, the detail of the carving on this, folks. Wow. That is absolutely incredible. That's the kind of history that I love to share on the channel. It's a wee bit of Scottish history, hardly seen and hardly documented. 1947. Anyway, let's keep this going. Look at this one. It's almost just like a plain massive lump of stone there, a big slab. And it is cool over the years to see the variation of graves, and all these estates, the graves can often tell the final story of what happened to the families that at one time ran these magnificent Scottish estates. So much money often invested into like the whole estate infrastructure originally, with the houses, the buildings. Like you can see there's been a door here in the walled garden at a certain time. This has been the edge of the walled garden. See, it's maybe the family's graves were within this compound here, and then the common man's grave were maybe around at this side. That's maybe the difference between these two grave sites. Maybe other locals also used this chapel back in the day. And look, the gate is of less fine quality compared to the Erskine graves. Wow, there's a lot of gravestones in here, folks. I'll take a look around at a few of them and see if there's any cool ones, or see if I can see one of the oldest ones. Look, this gravestone's had some sort of strange repair done to it, or it's been chiselled out. It's almost like somebody originally had made a mistake when they were carving that, and then they had to kind of blank it out. Then look at this one, the foundation of it's almost been washed away. 1828 right here, folks, this one. Marjorie Brechin was the woman's name there. And it's just mad to see these older stones. It's the oldest ones that I love to see. These are all snowdrops here, which would have been in full bloom maybe a couple of months ago. And look at this. This stone here looks like it's been sitting up on these stands at a certain time and then it's fallen down, sadly. Wow, a lot of the writing and stuff so hard to see. I think it says 1902 there, but it's hard to know. It could say 1802, but I think it's more likely to be 1902. Wow, I've never seen a smaller obelisk like this. That's quite interesting. What a place, folks. Look, this graveyard is just kind of built on the side of this cliff, and it looks like it drops off away down into the gorge. Oh, there's another path leads around the edge here. There's so many paths here at Dun, it's definitely worth a walk. And it's just almost a paradise scene, folks. Look at this. I think this is the older graves at this side now, because there's some really interesting stone carvings. Look at this. 1780. See, so we're right enough, folks. Look, these are the ancient graves at this side. This is what I love to see. Check out the architecture of this place. Wow, the stones are so well detailed and carved. Sadly, this ancient grave here can hardly be seen. The details that were once carved on it, covered from the moss, which probably does protect it from the frost and the worst of the weather. But there's a few of these ones. You can see the slight remains of something that may have been written on it. Wow, folks, this is just absolutely mad. And look at this one here with the angel on it. Just think how long ago that was carved, like 1700s. And then look at this one, the details of it. I just love to see it, folks. I had forgotten how detailed all this stuff was. Look, 1773, I think that says there. Wow, 1773, folks. And just think about how many days and nights that stood here, like, through all weathers. Here's another super interesting one, folks. Look, 1744 it says on there. And it's amazing to see the detail that they went to back at that time, the craftsmanship, even on these headstones. It's all craftsmanship that's now lost. The newer these gravestones get, the less detailed and the less amazing they get. And it's a sad fact that about construction of humans. Most of the time, stuff built at this time was just so well made. Look at the detail of the stone, folks. Wow, it's just a magical place. And there's some other ancient stones, maybe old inlays and stuff from inside this chapel. Look at it there. I think it's meant to be angels, because I can kind of see like wings or whatever down at this side. And yeah, there's no like plain stones on this at all. They're all incredible. What a mad wee adventure this has been. It's often cool just to go to a random little corner of Scotland and take a walk about. And look at this here. This is something that I first saw when I was over on like the west coast of Scotland, but there's actually a cast iron gravestone here. It's a cast iron piece with the stone obviously placed into it. 1861 it was placed as well. So that gives you an idea. They had the option at that time of the casting. Probably cast in a British foundry. And then, yeah, it's strange. There must still be a piece of roof up there or whatever, because there's a drain coming down in that gutter. But it's like it's fully sealed up. Maybe with the current family's burials and stuff, or more recent family burials from the House of Dun within that area. But it actually looks like there could be a little underground bit. Sometimes these had like tombs underneath the ground, basically. And that's what this could be here. Another interesting detail, look at this, folks. The building's actually got a big crack. This bit here looks like it's starting to lean out. Maybe one day these corner towers and stuff will fall down, but I reckon with a place like this it'll be maintained and kept, and probably the stones get repointed as well regularly with new cement. Look at this as well. This is similar to the carvings that we saw at Ald-bar on the buildings. Look, you see the chisel marks, but it's specially designed to be like that, 'cause look, this one goes opposite. So then when the final building was completed, the design on it was just amazing. And that's the kind of extra little details of like the architecture that I love to see. Once all the stones are put together, it just adds another level, and it's just stunning. Stunning when the light hits it as well. That's when you really see what they did with their chisels back in the day. Anyway, we'll take a look at a few more of these graves. There's another big cast iron one here. I think it's better protected from the tree. It looks like it's not quite so frost damaged. Like the most recent date on here is 1889. Wow, 1867 this was first put in. Check this out, folks. Before we leave this ancient area, I wanted to document this stone here because it seems quite grand and well constructed. And this one here is just incredible. 1845. But the detail of the stonework on a thing like that's what blows my mind when I come to these ancient graveyards. And it's kind of built, this little chapel's built onto this pinnacle of land. We saw the footpath going round the other side. And then down here it's over towards the main House of Dun entrance. If anybody comes to the House of Dun and you're walking in the entrance, if you turn around you'll actually see this abandoned wonder on the hill at the opposite side. It's been so cool today to come to this on this short video and see that wee bit of the House of Dun garden, and just imagine how grand it must have been back in the day. It just shows the place like this must have been in its prime in the Victorian period. Maybe starting in the late 1700s all the way through to the 1800s, into the early 1900s. We're seeing evidence of all the graves from that era within this graveyard. And look at this one here, folks. It's almost eerie when you see the way that nature takes over stuff like this. Look, 1770. So look at that, folks, for a sign of Scottish history right there. The way that little building stands prominently on this piece of land. Maybe at one time overlooking more, before these trees grew up to the height they're at now. And yeah, this walled garden even has been an impressive structure from the get-go. Look at this, the way these carved stones are. It almost matches the architecture there of the chapel that we just looked at, the end walls. And then it looks like maybe just the gentleman that owns that house over there, they've got some current like polytunnels and stuff, so it shows the old walled garden's still getting used for the growth of plants or maybe vegetables, anything like that. And then it's amazing to see these places when the blossom and stuff's out flowering. It adds a bit of colour to this bleak, wintry landscape, which is now changing into a springtime environment with all the colours of the plants and the grass and stuff starting to grow. It brings all these places to life. But then also sometimes the more abandoned places, it covers them over and you can hardly see them in the summer. Anyway, let's keep this going, folks. I'll update you once I'm further down this little area here. Check it out, folks. These little paths all weave down through the mad jungle-like terrain that we're dealing with, and it's just paradise. I think I can see a little waterfall down here. There's a bigger one further up that we'll go and take a look at in a minute, but this one here looks like a cool little waterfall as well. Yeah, check it out. I'm not sure what they've been doing here at a certain time. It's maybe been just part of like a garden design. Sometimes old houses like the House of Dun at one time would have had like an electrical turbine powered by water. But if they didn't have that, I'm not sure where it was located. This is a cool wee waterfall though. Wow, check it out, folks. We've got this secondary wee waterfall up here. That's the one that I'm hoping to go and have a look at. There is an amazing little stone bridge above it, and I remember when I first came here, that little bridge was like in the trees and under the bushes, and it had such a character. Whereas now all the ground around it's been kind of landscaped and cleared up, and there's like a fresh fence and stuff around it, and it just takes away that kind of character that it originally had. So check it out, folks. This is the old stone bridge, which I think at one time was one of the internal paths here on the House of Dun. kind of garden path network, but now it's been fenced off, probably because it's so old they can't trust the integrity of the structure. Like, it does look beautiful just the way it's built in the land here on top of this bedrock seam. Check out this here, folks. We've got this pink rhododendron bush, I believe it is, and then the way this bamboo and stuff is, it's just got so much character. It really is just like coming to another country. It's amazing that Scotland can be landscaped to look like this. Yes, here we are, folks. Look, there's this unusual bit here cut out. I'm not sure what that's been for. It's like there has been some older kind of like water tank or device in this area at a certain time. Now it's just this picture postcard scene of the little waterfall. Wow, and there's the big bridge that I walked over a minute ago on the video. Look at this, there's a wee picnic table. You could come down here with a little picnic or whatever one day, chill out next to this burn right in front of this cliff face. It's mad how this little burn's most likely carved this channel over the years. Once again with this video, you're getting the true beauty of Scotland, hardly seen, mixed with the little historical details and little historical wonders hidden within a place like this. So I would like to thank all the new subscribers that's clicked subscribe recently on the channel, or ever. I do appreciate it. Whoa, Midgie's just right into my face right there, folks. But yeah, I appreciate all the comments, all the subscribers and all the viewers. And today's video has been a little bit of like Victorian Scottish estate history, but you know how it is on this channel, folks. We like to mix it up with a variety of history from all different times. So who knows what it'll be next. Whoa, it's been super wet here recently, and most adventures I've had the wellies on, but today I thought for this one I was going to wear the trainers, and it's worked out. It's a lot comfier wearing the trainers for sure than having the wellies on for every adventure. And today we've been blessed with this sunshine. This is actually an evening walk today, and the clocks have now changed in Scotland, so the time obviously goes forward at this time of year. So we're getting blessed with an extra hour of sunlight in the evenings, folks, and that means that more adventures will be possible. And I just love the sound of this wee stream trickling its way past, making its way down to that waterfall. Yes, we've made it back as far as this old bridge, and this bridge itself probably dates back to like the early 1900s at least. But I'm not sure what was here before. Maybe there was actually no crossing here at all. It's mad how it's just such a steep, like bedrock slope here, and it must have been a nightmare for them to cross before the bridge was constructed. But I would say at least early 1900s a thing like this was put in, for sure. Maybe even a wooden bridge here before that. But it's impressive the way they used to build these bridges back in the day. And then the size of the traffic that's going over it has changed so much since a thing like this was built. It was probably like the odd car, but mostly horse and carts going over. And then nowadays it's like big farm machinery and massive lorries and trucks. But yet the bridge still stands here strong. And I think all this has been built since the last time I was here, maybe to make it safer. I'm not sure if the river or whatever had washed a fair bit of this out. But yeah, wow, it's just absolute paradise, folks, and I've loved this wee walk today. It's kind of a local walk, but my car's actually under repair just now, folks, so I wasn't able to go as far as what I would like. But I'm sure by the time we do the next video, we'll be back out in the far reaches, the remote lands of Scotland. Anyway, that's me just about back to my car, folks, so I'm going to end this video here. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted you've been gifted with the evil.